Hello and welcome back. This week, I want to talk about a topic that's really, really close to my own heart. Why am I so tired all of the time? 5 reasons why women over the age of 35 constantly feel exhausted. So, first of all, can I ask you something? When was the last time that you woke up and you actually felt refreshed? Not kind of, I'm all right once I've had a coffee, or, I'm all right. I just need to get through this week or just get through this day, which is something that I do see all of the time. And it's definitely not kind of, I'm all right now. I'll just need to get through to Monday and then I'll start again. I'll sort myself out. I mean, when did you last genuinely feel like you've had some rest and you feel like you again? So that may even be that long ago that you've forgotten what that feels like. Having a clear head, like you actually have the energy to face your day, like you're going to win the day instead of the day consume you. Because one of the biggest things that I see with busy women over the age of 35 or into their 40s is, well, they'll just often say to me, Caroline, I'm just so tired all of the time. And I don't mean a little bit sleepy. I mean, they're feeling fully exhausted, dragging themselves out of bed in the morning, relying on coffee. One client actually referred to being feeling like she had to peel herself off her mattress in the morning. So hitting a brick wall in the afternoon, that exhaustion and fatigue that I personally felt like around 3 o'clock when I was really late on into my pregnancy, like that is how many women show up to me in practice on the daily, and they're not expecting, they're just simply just trying to get through the day. That kind of overall dread of, don't put anything else on me on my busy schedule because I already have far too much, or the fact that you can just about cope with the norm, but when life throws you lemons, which it often does, that's when we really start to feel exhausted and we start to feel snappy. We start to take things out on the people that we love. We crave sugar because we need it to give us energy to get through. And finally, getting into the evening and sitting down and feeling like, oh my goodness, I've got nothing left, not an ounce of energy left to give. Or this is when I see busy women kind of reaching out for chocolate or having some crisps or ordering a takeaway or having a glass of wine or two. This is often the hardest part because it's been going on for so long that this has become a habit for you. And you're just telling yourself, well, you know what? I'm a mum now. I work. I'm busy. This is it. This is my life now. But honestly, I really want to challenge you to think about your body and just, I always say, kind of like become an investigator of your own body. Investigate, what is actually going on, because this can really, really make us, when we start to think like this can really make us have those aha moments where we realize that actually this is not how I'm supposed to be feeling. So, as a nutritionist, as an eating psychology specialist, and as someone who has studied women's health now for the last 9 years intensely, and for someone who's actually a busy woman myself, I'm going through the perimenopause and I've studied women's health at master's degree level. This is exactly why I'm so passionate about looking at the whole of women's health, looking at women as a whole, not just saying to them, you want to lose weight? Great, eat less, exercise more. Because honestly, the amount of women that I've seen in practice that come to me so fed up and frustrated because they've taken that advice and it just isn't working for them. It's not getting them the results that they desire, or it'll get them some results, but then before they know it, they're back to where they were when they first started, or even worse than that, they've actually gained some rebound weight. And I see this time and time again. So I'm not saying that absolutely every woman in the universe needs the same advice. That's where I'm different. I know that we as women are very individual, we're very unique. We have our own set of genetic markers that have made us who we are today, but also habits that we've picked up along the way. So if you're sitting there listening to this and thinking, do you know what? I'm so tired all the time. One of the things that I see quite commonly in busy women is, in fact, I'd say this is the number one thing that I see: women not eating enough to support their energy throughout the day. And I know it sounds counterproductive, especially if weight loss is the main goal, but eating enough of the right calories, providing your body with the right nutrients that it needs to have energy, this is huge. It's massive. It's going to, by swapping over to eating the correct foods and having enough of it, you are going to have a massive, successful and, very positive transformation. I know this is probably surprising you when you start to do the work. When I first start working with clients and they actually track for me, this is one of the things I see regularly. We've been told as a nation that we need to eat less, move more, cut calories, skip breakfast, don't eat this macronutrient, don't eat that macronutrient. But honestly, and be good. That's another thing I hear all the time. I'm being really good today, Caroline. I'm not having X, Y, and Z. Well, actually, is that being good? I'm challenging you to think about that. Is cutting that out from your diet actually being good? How is that good? What vital nutrients are you missing or skipping that day? Saving calories up for later or saving them up for an event. I understand there is a place for that, absolutely, but saving them up for later, starting your day with the great source of protein, having enough calories in the first meal of the day is going to create that energy for you and to stop that late night kind of snacking or reaching out for foods that don't serve us just because we're desperate for some energy. Okay. So, and what I want you to do is just take a little bit of time out your day to start looking at your day, having a look at what it is you're putting into your mouth. You'll be surprised. Many women that I work with realize they're actually running on next to nothing. So if breakfast is just a coffee for you, or lunch is something that you grab quickly on the go as you're multitasking through meetings or a pile of workload to do, then please, please, please start to take note of that and start to plan so that we have really good quality food going in. And that way, the evenings are going to get easier. Those cravings that don't serve you will disappear. So it's not about trying to be good all afternoon. It's not about doing that and then at 4 o'clock being absolutely ravenous, or 5 o'clock, tea's not ready, you've not had enough time to plan, so you're craving something, so you're reaching out for the foods that don't serve you. Before we know it, you're stood in the kitchen, you're stuffing down a packet of biscuits or whatever it is, or picking at whatever you can find. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I talk so much about nourishment. Your body does need energy to produce more energy. And if you're consistently underfueling during the day, honestly, this is when it makes sense for you to feel exhausted later and have those cravings, because that leads me nicely up to point number 2, which is blood sugar swings. So many women come into my practice and they actually either are borderline diabetic, diabetes type 2, or they're suffering massively with low mood, feeling snappy. Imagine starting your day with a coffee and maybe a piece of toast, white bread, and then you grab a cereal bar to keep you going, and then you don't eat at all, or you don't eat anything, and you're really hanging on for that lunch, and then lunch is just something grab on the go. Later on, you're going to really crave something sweet because your body needs energy. It's talking to you, saying, give me some sugar, give me some calories, give me something. I need energy. And, when you eat it at first, you might feel a little bit better for a while, but then before you know it, your blood sugars are going to crash again and you're going to feel dreadful. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to be practically falling asleep mid-flow at work. And then you're going to be craving some more of that sugar to give you that energy boost again. And then we crash again, and then we're craving, then we get a little boost again, and then we crash, and then we're craving. And honestly, so many women start blaming themselves for this. They think there's something wrong with themselves. They don't have any willpower around sugar. They start thinking they're the biggest cookie addict in the world. But honestly, it's not about that. It's about, what are we putting in, or what did they eat for breakfast? And did you have enough protein? And, what does lunch look like for you? And how long has it been that you've gone without eating? And, that 3 o'clock biscuit craving, it probably didn't start at 3 o'clock. It probably started way before that. The foundations really do have to be solid for us to have energy throughout the day. And number 3, something that I see with every single client I work with, they're carrying so much stress. The stress load is huge for them. This is where I bring in my knowledge about Russian women syndrome. As women, we're taking on so much. We're balancing so many plates. I have friends and family that refer to it as the circus, because there's so many different acts to be in charge of and be in control of that day. And it's massively underestimated. I was speaking to a client last night about cortisol, and I'm sometimes sound like I'm banging on with the same old drum with the same old message. But this is insane, because women, they hear the word stress and they sometimes think, well, yeah, I'm stressed. That isn't everybody. It's like a badge of honor for some people. But stress doesn't have to look dramatic, you know. It doesn't have to be like, oh my goodness, something tragic's happened. It's low level stress that's happening daily that's creating all of these problems. School emails coming in, WhatsApp messages galore. What's for dinner? What are we doing tonight? Have I got a clean PE kit? Do we need to get a birthday present for somebody? Who's looking after aging parents? You know, taking dad to the doctors, whatever it is. Trying to keep the romance alive in a relationship. It's insane. Number four, your sleep. Your sleep may not be as restorative as you think. You are technically in bed for 8 hours, but you're still waking up exhausted because actually you might be too hot. You know, your mind wakes up at 3 a.m. racing with things to do, the to-do list, or perhaps you're grabbing your phone and you're scrolling till all hours. Are you actually asleep for that 8 hours, or are you actually preventing sleep? Because this massively impacts your energy and your appetite and your cravings throughout the day and your mood, which is a massive one. And most importantly, your ability to make decisions, which as a busy mum, we need to be bang on with that. Number five, honestly, there could be something else going on that we're passing off as it's just stress. I'm busy, it's life. When actually there could be so many things going on. And yes, I know I'm always talking about the perimenopause, and it does bring to us as women a huge collection of different symptoms. But that doesn't mean that if we're feeling rubbish, it's all down to that. There could be something underlying. So many times when I'm working with women in practice, we'll do a blood check and we'll find out that there's a deficiency of iron, B12, you know, perhaps they're having sleep problems and the magnesium's a bit off or the thyroid's out of whack. There's so many other conditions it could be. So honestly, please, if tiredness is really persistent for you or you feel that it's severe or worsening, check in with your GP or your healthcare professional because honestly, good women's health support should never ever be about squeezing every single symptom that you've got into a fashionable explanation like I'm stressed or I'm just a busy mum. Let's have a look at the whole picture. So if you've been watching this and you've been thinking, oh my goodness, this is me, I want you to tune in weekly as I update with different updates on how you can help yourself. Do not try to sit there now and overall the whole of your life in 1 minute. Just notice what's going on. That's the biggie. Just take a little bit of time out to reflect on you, your body, and what's happening. And those symptoms that it's throwing out at you is your body's way of communicating with you, letting you know that there is something wrong. What's happening most on your stressful days? You know, what are those symptoms saying to you? So if you would like some more information and some practical tips on how to help you get your energy back naturally, I have got the best resource for you. 5 science-backed food swaps for busy mums age 40 plus. It's not a diet, it's not a detox. It's here to help you feel like you again. So if this sounds like you, all I want you to do is subscribe to hear my next video or to drop me a comment here below or come and connect with me over on Instagram and I'll send you all the details. You take care.